The airport was never meant to be a stage, yet on that ordinary day, as members of BTS prepared to depart for Portugal, it transformed into something far more intimate, emotional, and unforgettable. Fluorescent lights reflected off polished floors, security announcements echoed in the background, and staff moved with routine precision. Everything appeared normal until Jungkook walked past. This was not a scheduled fan event. There were no barricades filled with cheering crowds, no banners or lightsticks raised high. It was simply a moment in transit, a brief pause between destinations. Yet it became one of those rare scenes that linger in memory long after it ends, precisely because it was unplanned and genuine. As BTS members proceeded through the airport, accompanied by security, their presence alone subtly shifted the atmosphere. Even in silence, they carried an unmistakable aura, calm, confident, and quietly magnetic. Jungkook walked slightly behind, dressed simply, his posture relaxed, eyes forward, focused on moving through the space without disruption. To many, he was just another passenger passing by. But to one airport staff member standing nearby, the moment would become something far more personal. The staff member stationed near the checkpoint was doing her job like any other day. Her attention was divided between screens, passengers, and procedures. Then, almost unexpectedly, Jungkook passed directly in front of her line of sight. For a split second, her professional composure wavered. Her eyes lifted instinctively and recognition flashed across her face, not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakable. There was a brief smile, a natural one, the kind that comes before you even realize you're smiling. She didn't wave, she didn't call out, she didn't step forward or break protocol. It was just a small, honest reaction, surprise mixed with admiration. Perhaps she expected him to pass without noticing, as celebrities often do in transit spaces. Perhaps she assumed, like so many others, that this would be a one-sided moment. She sees him, he walks on. But then something happened that no one expected. Jungkook noticed. As he moved past, his gaze briefly shifted. It wasn't dramatic or prolonged, just enough to register a familiar human expression, a smile directed at him, warm and unguarded. In that fraction of a second, Jungkook did something that turned an ordinary airport scene into a viral, heart-melting moment. He waved. Not a grand gesture, not a performance, just a small, polite wave of the hand accompanied by a soft smile, a simple acknowledgement, a silent "I see you too." The effect was immediate. The staff member froze, not out of fear but out of pure surprise. Her smile widened instinctively, her eyes brightened, and for a moment the world around her seemed to pause. This was not part of her job description. This was not something she had prepared for. This was a human reaction to an unexpected kindness from someone she never imagined would notice her at all. Those nearby noticed it too. A ripple of quiet astonishment passed through the area. Security maintained their formation. BTS members continued walking, but that single exchange, brief, silent, and sincere, left a mark far louder than any crowd reaction could have. What made the moment so powerful was its simplicity. Jungkook didn't stop. He didn't create a scene. He didn't draw attention to himself or the staff member. He simply acknowledged another person's presence in a space where most people feel invisible. For airport staff, celebrities pass through all the time. They are trained to remain neutral, professional, detached. Emotional distance is part of the job, yet Jungkook's small gesture quietly dismantled that barrier. In that second, she wasn't staff and he wasn't a global superstar. They were just two people sharing a fleeting human connection. As BTS continued toward their gate, heading to Portugal for what many believe is part of intense preparation for upcoming activities, the atmosphere behind them subtly changed. The staff member regained her composure, returning to her duties, but the smile lingered. Those who noticed exchanged glances, some suppressing grins, others clearly touched by what they had just witnessed. Later, when footage of the moment began circulating online, fans reacted exactly as one might expect. But beyond the excitement and admiration, there was something deeper resonating with people around the world. This wasn't about fame or visuals or status. It was about kindness. Fans replayed the clip again and again, slowing it down, analyzing every frame. They noticed how natural Jungkook's reaction was, how unforced, how human. Many commented not on his outfit or expression, but on the feeling the moment evoked, a warmth that transcended language and culture. The journey to Portugal itself has drawn significant attention. BTS traveling together once again sparked conversations, speculation, and excitement. Portugal, known for its calm atmosphere and historic beauty, has become the backdrop for what many believe is a crucial period of preparation. Training, rehearsals, focus, Everything about the trip suggests dedication and intensity behind the scenes. Yet amid discussions about schedules, comeback preparations, and future plans, this small airport moment stole the spotlight. It reminded everyone that even during demanding schedules and constant scrutiny, Jungkook remains deeply grounded. This is not the first time such stories have emerged. Over the years, countless staff members, from stylists to drivers to security personnel, have quietly shared similar experiences. Moments where Jungkook bowed first, thanked someone sincerely, or noticed details others might overlook. Each story adds another layer to the image fans already hold dear, an artist who has grown in fame but not lost his humility. In this particular moment, the staff member did nothing extraordinary. She simply smiled, and Jungkook responded in kind. That mutual exchange is what made it powerful. No words were needed, no explanation required. As BTS boarded their flight, leaving behind the controlled chaos of the airport, that moment remained suspended in time, captured on camera, shared online, and etched into memory. For the staff member, it was likely a story she would carry with her for years. For fans, it became another reason to admire not just Jungkook the performer, but Jungkook the person. In an industry often dominated by spectacle, this was the opposite. No lights, no stage, no applause, just a wave. And sometimes, that's enough to make hearts melt around the world. The story did not end at that wave. In fact, for many who witnessed it, both in person and later through screens, that single gesture became a lens through which they re-examined everything they thought they knew about fame, distance, and human connection. As the footage continued to circulate, fans began to focus not only on Jungkook's movement, but on the reaction it created. The staff member's expression was not exaggerated, not performative. It was the kind of genuine surprise that cannot be rehearsed. Her body language said everything. A brief pause, a widening smile, a momentary disbelief that someone of Jungkook's stature had noticed her existence at all. This is what struck people the most. Jungkook did not wave because cameras were rolling. He waved because he saw someone smile at him and instinctively responded. In the modern celebrity world, where every movement is scrutinized and every interaction risks becoming a headline, many public figures choose to keep their heads down, eyes forward, expressions neutral. Jungkook could have done the same. No one would have blamed him. No one would have noticed the absence of that wave. But he didn't choose invisibility. He chose acknowledgement. The timing of this moment also mattered. BTS were not on a leisurely vacation. Their departure to Portugal came amid intense speculation and anticipation. Fans knew this trip was not random. Whispers of preparation, training, and creative focus surrounded the journey. Portugal, with its quieter environment and distance from constant media frenzy, appeared to be a place chosen deliberately for concentration, discipline, and renewal. That context made Jungkook's small act feel even more meaningful. Despite the pressure of expectations, schedules, and responsibility, he remained present enough to see the people around him. As the members moved through the airport, each carried their own quiet focus. Yet Jungkook's brief detour into humanity, just a wave, somehow became the emotional center of the entire departure. Fans online began sharing their interpretations. Some wrote about how they imagined the staff member felt afterward, returning home and replaying that moment in her mind. Others reflected on their own experiences in service roles, how rare it is to be seen by people passing through, especially those in positions of immense privilege and fame. The comments were not filled with envy, but empathy. "This is why people love him," one fan wrote. "Not because he's Jungkook from BTS, but because he treats people like people," another said. "He didn't have to do that, and that's exactly why it mattered." As the conversation grew, so did the symbolism of the moment. The wave came to represent something larger than itself. It became a reminder that kindness does not require time, money, or grand gestures. Sometimes it requires only awareness. For airport staff around the world, the clip resonated deeply. Many of them operate behind the scenes, ensuring safety and order, often under immense stress, rarely receiving acknowledgement from the thousands who pass by each day. Seeing one of the world's most famous artists pause, even for a second, to acknowledge a staff member felt validating.